It is your boy, Black Ronin, back on that again with another banger of a video for y'all's out here today. Guys, I gotta help out my fellow light-skinned mulatto dudes out here. But guys, I gotta talk about the best body type you should have as a mulatto light-skinned dude out here, in my opinion. This is my experience that I personally get. Now, I can't speak for everybody else, but this is my experience of what I personally think that is pretty suitable for us in terms of most women. But I personally think that the best physique you can have to attract universally most women is just a athletic build and just knowing how to dress. But when I say athletic build, like you can get away with like how to explain it. It's like because when you're athletic, you got a little bit of muscle on you, but there's ways that you can play with it and make yourself look bigger. So certain clothes, if you know how to dress and make sure your clothes fit you properly, and like you just know how to do certain things, you can look bigger than you actually are when you're walking around. So I would personally think that the athletic build is hands down the best physique that you can have as a light skinned mulatto dude. Now, let's talk about the races of women that you're going to attract the most and the least with the athletic build, but why I also think that is still the best. See, with the athletic build, if you train at least 3 times a week, you can maintain this no problem. And you don't have to go crazy in the gym, guys. Like you're not even meant to be super gigantic anyway. So as long as you're healthy and at healthy weight, got a little bit of muscle on you. If you want to get a few tattoos, to help you as well, make you stand out even more. But only if you really want to. Like me personally, I love tattoos, so I'm definitely gonna get a lot more. Nothing crazy, crazy, but I'm definitely gonna get more just because I like them. But that's not for everybody. So in terms of races that you're going to attract the most with a athletic build as a light skinned mulatto dude, it's going to be white woman hands down. So yeah. um yeah, you're not going to have no problem, a white woman, if you got a athletic build pretty decently put together. You don't have to be super super big, but and I would even argue you can get away with being skinny if you got a good face with a lot of white women if you're a light skinned mulatto dude. But preferably, I would say have that like have that type of athletic build to you. And yeah, that's going to definitely get the most attention. Now, if you're anything beyond that, yeah, you're gonna get a lot more attention. But athletic build is definitely the easiest for just a lot of us in general. Some of us got busy schedules, so the gym should honestly be a fine balance in your life. It shouldn't be your entire life. So that's why I say the athletic build is the most reasonable for yourselves. So that way you're not training so crazy, you're not dieting so crazy just to maintain such a big gigantic physique, and you can still be strong and agile when you're athletic and have that type of build anyway. And if you learn some fighting styles, you're good, because most people, they especially in America, if it come down to throwing hands, most people really don't know what they're doing out here, which I honestly, you want to avoid conflict anyway, because nowadays people just gonna shoot and keep it moving. But if you got an athletic build, you're a lot more agile and able to just maneuver a lot more quicker. So I find that to be more beneficial than being super super ripped and gigantic. But so yeah, white woman is definitely number one, gonna attract the most. Now with black women, now this is why I say you have to know the type of clothes that's gonna fit you to make yourself look bigger, like to make yourself look bigger. Like, look at me right here. This is me. Like, I'm definitely slim and athletic, but here are some other pictures. Look at how much bigger I look now because I know the type of clothes to wear. I know what type of clothes that suits me. And on top of that, put on the right lotion, a little bit of oils, Look at look at the illusion you're giving off. Like your arms are bigger, more cut than it actually is. Really, it's just amplifying your hard work. So if you can master those type of skills, yeah, black women ain't gonna have no problem. But I will say, ideally, if you're gonna deal with black women, you do got to be a bit more buffer. More noticeably jacked, not super jacked, but but just more noticeably buffer. You're gonna deal with black women. This is why I say you have to know how to dress with them, and you have to make sure your clothes fit you a certain way, so you look bigger than you actually are. And honestly, if you do that, that's usually how I get attention from black women and stuff, and not have much of an issue. But yeah, you just have to play around with your clothes, if you're not the biggest guy, because they do prefer more bigger, more robust type of dudes. So keep that in mind. Now with Latinas do vary. It just depends on location. But where I'm currently at right now, over here in Texas, it's western side of Texas. Lord have mercy. I mean, listen, I'm not out here shaming, but hey, you gotta be a fat dude to get a lot of Latinas. If I'm just keeping it honest with you, just get fat as fuck if you want a Latina. Like, that's what they love, man. Like, I don't know what it is. They love the big boys. Not knocking, you a big dude out there. Hey, be proud, because they love that. But at the same time, I don't recommend you getting like fat and out of shape. But not like, that's why I say stick with the athletic build. You can't go wrong with that. You're agile. And if you know how to dress, it's just so much you can do to play around with that type of physique that can really make it stand out more versus you gaining a lot more muscle and eating so much more and trying to maintain a big physique that you just can't maintain year round. So you need to have a more healthier mindset when it comes down to the gym and, looking a certain way. So that's what I would say, guys. And in terms of Latinas, like I said, you're going to have to travel around. They do like their big boys, like bigger dudes. So travel around. Back in Florida, I would say wouldn't be so much of an issue. Puerto Ricans, I didn't really have much of a problem with my physique, and I was more skinnier at the time. So if I were to come back now, I'm really gonna be doing pretty decent. But yeah, with Latinas, you just have to move around. Certain places are more responsive to being more fit than others, but a lot of them, they gonna want the big boys. They want a dude that's big. Yeah, they just love it like that. But with a lot of other women, you should be good. I would say the slim, athletic physique, athletic build, that's really what you want. And I'm saying this because it's a lot of dudes out here saying that you gotta get super, super jacked. Nah, you don't have to do all that. Have a healthy weight, and in America in general, you're gonna stand out regardless because most people are overweight. So if you're got a little bit of muscle on you and you're lean, you got noticeable abs, like a little bit, you're ahead of so many people already. So that's really all I want to say, guys. It's your boy Black Ronin. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with me? Disagree with me? Do you guys relate to what I'm saying? Because this is my experiences, and yeah, that's all I gotta say. But y'all take it easy.